Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be responding to the instructor's question about dual relationships. The first question was, what does the ACA Code of Ethics say about managing boundaries in professional relationships? When I looked up the American Counseling Association Code of Ethics 2014, I found that in section A5A it said that if you have ever had a sexual relationship with an individual, that you cannot counsel them. It says that if you're going to engage in a romantic relationship after the counseling has ended, you need to wait for a span of 5 years. In section A5D, it says that you can't counsel family members because you do not obtain the ability to remain objective. And then it talks about previous relationships may include individuals whom counselors had casual, distance, or past relationships. Maybe you vaguely knew them in passing because you went to the same gym, but it doesn't go into a whole lot of specifics about what is and is not considered a previous relationship. It gives broad examples that I just gave you, but no specific guidelines. And then the extending counseling boundaries, it's talking about beyond just what you and the client in the session. It's talking about purchasing a service, a product from a client. Maybe you need your car fixed and you hear this, this is the mechanic, and you realize that your client works at this auto body shop. Is that considered a dual relationship? Again, it's very vague, so it doesn't go into a whole lot of detail about what is and does not constitute the dual relationship in those scenarios. When you read the article from Maliski and Kaliski, 2005, the dual relationship, a continuing range from the destructive to the therapeutic, it goes into these relationships a little bit more. It breaks them down into the sexual and non-sexual relationships. It goes into detail as far as the sexual side of it. It is almost always proven to be destructive for the client, so it is definitely one of those stronger boundaries that you don't cross. There's no reason to cross that boundary. You should not be having a sexual relationship with a client because it is not good for the client. The other relationships that it speaks about are, one of them that it brought up was one tenant was having an issue with another tenant. The one tenant filed a formal complaint just to find out that their landlord was a client of theirs. That can't constitute a dual relationship when you didn't have any idea that the person was your landlord. And then moving forward, you'd have to see, that's a whole nother issue moving forward, but as far as the previous relationship, there's no way that you could have known. Then they give the other relationship as both of you have children that have the same teacher. If you never meet at parent-teacher conferences, if you never meet at the school, if you don't do anything outside of the school, your children just happen to attend the same school with the same teacher, that doesn't necessarily constitute a dual relationship. A lot of the things that the article was saying is that it's kind of common sense, that you should just be aware that it's hard to define every relationship and that it's impossible to define every relationship, but that you need to be aware and you need to be vigilant to know that you're not crossing those boundaries. If your children happen to have the same teacher, but yet you never run into each other, you just know this information, doesn't necessarily constitute the dual relationship. But if they have the same teacher and you go to the same functions and you are speaking all the time, and there's almost a friendship there between, as parents with children in the same class, that could constitute a dual relationship. So really it's more about common sense than it is, about defined logistics of what is a dual relationship. So thank you.